Hello, viewers. Thanks so much for joining me. Since the start of the Anglophone crisis in the two speaking English regions of Cameroon, life has not been the best in most families around these regions. Some have died, some have lost their husbands, some lost their wives, some have lost property, some have displaced. And worse still, most of the persons that are most affected are mostly women and girls. We have vulnerable girls found are going through a lot of difficulties and challenges. Hello, viewers. On today's episode of Girls Talk, you will be joining a young lady who is vulnerable, and because of the crisis, she's gone through a whole lot of difficulties and issues of life. When we meet her, you get to know more about her challenges because of the ongoing crisis. Please don't change the dial. When you come back, you meet my guest. I'll be right back. Hello, televiewers. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Favor, and you're welcome again to this very exciting. This is Girls Talk. This is a TV reality show where we look at issues that have to do with women and girls. I said earlier today, joining me is a young lady. She's a vulnerable girl. She was highly be affected by the ongoing crisis in the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon. I mean, she's one of the young girls that are going through a whole lot. I mean, her story is heartbreaking. We are going to be meeting her. She's going to be telling us her story, and we see how she can be blessed somehow. And together again with me, I have a representative from a wonderful organization around the world that are looking onto these young girls who are vulnerable. The making sure that they send them to a training school to be trained and maybe give them a better living. Today we are going to hear a whole lot about vulnerable girls, how in our community we can be able to be a blessing to them. You might hear a story that you will shed tears, but don't worry, it's just part of what we are going through. And I want you to join me today. Let's meet the young girl. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's gone to school, but she has a whole lot of sad experience. Please join me meet the young lady. Join me meet Miss Ophelia Nelly. Hello, Nelly.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, dear. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I must say I'm happy to have you.
Same here. I'm happy to share my story to the world because at least due to my story, people are going to understand that life will not just cut short because you're vulnerable. There's still hope somewhere for people like us.
Wow. Just from you see somebody, from the smile on her face, you see somebody who is going through a lot, but she's trying to be strong. Now let's meet Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack Mafani is actually the program associate of Bright Lights Project. This is an organization, an international organization that is looking at young vulnerable girls, how they could better their future. Now let's meet Mr. Jack Mafani, who is on the show this evening. Hi, Mr. Jack. Thanks so much for coming, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being on Girls Talk today. I know it's a female talk, but
yeah,
my organization does a lot, deals a lot with vulnerable girls. So I'll be glad to share a lot and have a good talk with you today.
Yeah, I actually invited your organization because it's not like it's for any publicity or anything, but then what you guys are doing to these young girls, I think is one of a million. It's really going to change and really going to bless a lot of lives. I want to say thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
As time goes on, we're going to ask you a lot of questions, and we are hoping that maybe Nelly listening to you is going to add her hope and reduce the stress.
Pray so.
Now, Nelly, thank you for coming once more. You have a lot of stories, but we are going to start from somewhere. First of all, Nelly lost her dad as a cause of this food crisis. Can you show us your story? What happened to your father? From there, let's start from there.
Okay. One day I went to school.
What year was that?
2020, 17 February 2020.
Just last year. Last year.
Yes, just last year. So I went to school. It was a Monday. I went to school and I was not feeling fine. I went back home and I was sleeping.
Right.
Only for me to get a call from my family that my father was shot by unknown gunmen, and that's how they discovered the dead body on the road. And the corpse was not even easy to identify that it was my father because it was malhandled. It was really bad.
So did you guys get the story how he was killed?
From what they told me, it was that on Sunday he left the house, that he was going to the farm. So from the farm, they said they came and took him from there, carried him to the bush. From there, that Sunday, they said they beat him the whole night until his body was damaged, then finish him on Monday and throw the body on the road. So that was what I was told, but I was not there because I was in school.
All right.
Yes.
So see, when you heard the story, how did you receive the sad news?
It was the shock of my life. It was really devastating. Since then, I have never picked up the pieces of my life. My life is just shattered. It's like the whole world for me has just crumbled, because ever since then, things have been very difficult for me. At least my father, just the fact that my father was there, everything was going smoothly. Even if we don't have, but he struggled to ensure that we are okay. But now that he's not there, that fatherly protection, it stands as a barrier even from outsiders to attack you. But now that he's not there, I receive threats from anybody because they know there's nobody standing for me. That I receive all kinds of manner of things that people do to me because they know there's nobody to stand for me. They can do anything they like and just got free, because what will I do? My father is not there for me. So that's life for me.
Sometimes you remember how you try to picture how he was beaten the whole night by unknown gunmen and then shot in the morning. How do you handle that trauma?
I just feel like just dying, like seriously, because my father was my world. He was everything I could ever imagine.
Nelly is almost crying. I want to come to Mr. Jack. Now, this is one of the stories that you meet in the field.
Yes.
And her story is really pretty sad. Her father was shot, and she's very difficult for her to overcome this trauma. Now, when you meet such, how did you get to what struck you in such a case?
Firstly, I would like to start by talking a little bit about Bright Light Project.
All right. Okay.
Bright Light Project is an international organization with having many branches all over Africa.
All right.
And our motto is rebuilding the broken communities. And when we talk of rebuilding the broken communities, we visit crisis areas and try to remedy the situation. Like, for instance, one of our first targets was the Ebola incident in Sierra Leone and Liberia, where we did rapid intervention there.
All right.
And we have been going to other parts of the country, of Africa. Sorry, because we visited Nigeria. We have worked in Nigeria for some time, and we are still in Nigeria.
With same kind of challenges.
Yes.
Okay.
And presently, we decided since our coming into Cameroon, we then decided to start with one of our maiden projects, which is the Girl Shall Rise project.
All right. Okay.
And in the Girl Shall Rise project, we get to take vulnerable girls from the streets, girls who are affected by crisis, and see how we give them formal and informal form of education, just to better their life. And this is to help them move out of prostitution and all manner of gender-based violence. While on the field, we meet a lot of these cases, and one thing we always make sure we do is we try to give a lot of psychosocial support to these victims, because a lot of these victims go through trauma. A case like Nelly, she's living through trauma even if she's smiling.
You can see the trauma in her face. It's not easy to forget what she went through.
Yes, it is not easy. So we do our best to always make sure we talk to them, we make sure we're available to listen to them, we make sure we're available to give them proper advice, the kind of advice they need and the kind of support they need. That's what we do most often in the field. We take out our time to talk to these victims. So we get their true stories and we try. We can't give them a solution, but we'll try to put them on the path to having a lasting solution for themselves to get out of this trauma.
Out of this trauma. Now Nelly, you lost your dad in a very tragic way, in a very sad way. And after that, how did you move on? Your mother, was she supportive?
Let's just say, before even the incident of my dad, my mother has left us ever since when I was 2 years.
2 years?
Yes, she has left
now
us.
How many of you are for your dad?
Just me and my junior brother.
All right. And you're the first?
Yes, I'm the first. So when my father died, those people that killed him seized all his properties. Like seriously, they made life a living hell for us. My uncle had to take my junior brother. My mother opted that she is going to help me by sending me to her elder sister in Douala.
Right.
So when,
sorry to cut you, when your father was killed, where was he? What region of the country?
He was in Southwest, precisely Kondo Titi.
Okay, Kondo Titi.
Yes. So my mother said I should go to my auntie. I went there. At least the first month that I came, she welcomed me very well. But things changed. She started treating me as if I was nobody, as if I never meant anything. She was just like indirectly telling me to leave the house. But since I'm her sister child, she cannot tell me that I should go. But she did everything possible.
At that time your dad had died?
Yes, at that time at that time my father is dead. So she told me that as I'm crying like that my father is even better that they buried my father. She's going to throw me in that Zakam car that they will go and throw me in the dustbin. Nobody will see my dead body. That I should not cry in her house. My father is dead. I should not cry in her house, because if anything happens to me, it's not her business.
Now, since this thing happened to your father, the way he died, so what you're telling us now is that you'll be receiving some some insults from people around you, reminding you of how your father died.
Yeah, many people that have been like reminding me of how my father died in one way or the other. Even my uncle, he told me that my father is nobody, that who is my father compared to him, that my father is nobody, that my father cannot even stand where he's standing. My auntie, she said, me, I'm a very bad girl, I'm very stubborn, I'm this, I'm that, all because I'm living in her house.
No. So you were going through all that because of your situation?
Yeah. There was nothing I could do to her that was right. Everything I did to her was wrong. It's like I've never done anything in my life that is good. She always finds fault in everything and insults me whenever she, like, even in public. She went to the whole cartel and was telling all the neighbors that I'm a bad person. Even I'm walking on the road, that's how people that are looking at me.
Now, after all that, it actually was just increasing the trauma.
It was just increasing the trauma because I felt like
life
was life. What's life all about? What am I living for? I was just like, I should just die and go and meet my father because there's no reason to live again.
No, you won't die. It's okay. Now, Mr. Jack, how do you handle traumatized cases when you meet cases like this? How do you go about your psychosocial support?
Okay, at Bright Light, we have a team who are well trained to talk to these ladies.
All right.
Yes, it's more of talking to them, because if you don't give them a platform to express themselves, they won't come out from where they are, because they'll be dying in silence, as we say. So we have a team with very wonderful personnel who take out their time to really talk to these ladies, to listen to them, give them motherly advice. And from what I've seen so far, it's progressive, because the feedback from the team is really good, because the girls are able to confide in the team and talk to them. It's more of giving them a shoulder where they can lie on, because that is what they need at the moment.
That's what they would need at the moment.
Yes.
So meaning that if a girl is watching us and has gone through what she's gone through, she can contact the organization. They will give her some psychosocial care. Very, very true. All right.
We work with a lot of vulnerable girls. We try as much as possible to see how we can help vulnerable girls, so that they don't find themselves in unwanted situations. Because so far in our field work, we have realized that majority of the vulnerable girls have been led into teenage pregnancy, early unwanted marriages, because they are trying to find this love, this support, this attention, of which they are not getting. So when we meet such cases, we always try to give them that time, that attention, so that they could recover from whatsoever trauma they are. Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. Now, Nelly, since after your dad left you, died mysteriously by unknown gunmen, just the way you told us, your mom was nowhere to be found. Now you're the firstborn of the family. You have a junior brother. How were you managing life?
I was really trying my best. Life has not really been easy. I have really gone through a lot. I have gone through terrible things that even myself I cannot imagine. I've gone to prison. I was in prison because I never had an ID card. My auntie that I was living with had told them that they should lock me there for God know how long, that she did not send me anywhere for the police to go and catch me.
How were you taking care of yourself, like your upkeep?
I have friends that when I tell my stories to them, they support me with anything that they have. I have some of my teachers in school that they know of everything that I'm going through. They support me in their own way. Sometimes I used to lie to people only because I had to survive. I went through hell. My own things were very difficult until sometimes I used to ask God that, why is my life like this? Before I could afford anything, it is going to take a longer time. I will struggle as if I'm fighting with the world for myself to live. It is very difficult.
Mr. Jack, I know that Bright Light Project presently has a program, Girls Shall Rise, and actually you're selecting some vulnerable girls to be schooled, to have a training with I think you have an MOU with OIC.
Yeah.
Now, how do you do your selection? Because I know when it's we need girls to help them, send them to school like OIC, everybody want to come. Now, how do you do your selection in a way that you get the right persons who are really actually vulnerable and needs this help?
Okay, we do what they call vulnerability assessment and mapping.
All right. Okay.
We have Bright Light has been in the field for more than 4 months. Majority of our work has been in the field. We have spent a lot of time in the field, going from one village to another, one community to another. We have covered more than 8 villages within within Buea.
Wow,
that's from
great work.
Likombe to Wasa to Nanga to Bukwango to Bova 1, Bova 2.
You actually go right into the villages.
Yes, we choose working in the rural areas.
All right, okay.
Because that is where we believe a lot of these vulnerable persons will find themselves. We are not ruling out the fact that in the urban areas we cannot find them. We can't find them there, but we choose to start from the rural areas. And we went to these areas which harbor a lot of internally displaced persons, and not just internally displaced persons. The host community itself it also has vulnerable children. So while on the field, we have what we call an assessment form, and our team takes out their time to talk with every single girl which is brought to us either by the chief's council or a community mobilizer. But most often we prefer working with the chief's council, because the chief's council, though sometimes they might be partial, but they know everybody. They know everybody within that community. Their community. All right. And they bring us those ladies. We conduct our assessment to get their stories individually, one after another. We don't do mass like in a big gathering. So we take one after another, listen to them, fill the assessment form, and when we go back, we take our time and analyze this form. And we have what they call vulnerability levels. There's level 1, there's the level 2, there's the level 3, there's the level 4. So we assess them according to their levels of vulnerability.
I think this is huge. This is massive. This is great, because many people will just end at the level of the town, the city, and just get names. But you go right to these villages to get these girls. I want to really applaud that gesture from Bright Lights Project Cameroon. Now let me come back to Nelly. Your stories are too many. You were once raped. You told me that you were once raped, and that was an experience that you cannot forget in a hurry. We have very few girls who can actually speak out that they were raped. But Nelly has gone through a lot, and she feels that her challenges, her experiences could help other vulnerable girls to come out from that shelf that they were. Can you share with us what actually happened? How were you raped? Was it as a result of the fact that you cannot be able to take care of yourself, that a man had to use that opportunity to want to have you?
It was a result as in struggling to survive. I had to lie, I had to do all sorts of things. So this man, like, I've been lying to him and taking his money because I need to survive. So one day he had to cut up with me and said he's going to take all the money I have been eating from him. So there was no way I could fight. I struggled to fight with him until he had to tear my dresses and make the way with me. So
in the house?
In the house, because he called me. I was like passing on the way from somewhere when I went to buy something. He called me. He said he needed help on something, so I was not even thinking on that direction, that he had planned everything. So when I came, he just pushed me and closed the door and was like saying that I should give him back all the money I have taken from him, or else he would take it from me by force. So we started fighting and struggling until he had to tear my dresses. I was shouting, but unfortunately it was a ghost town and there were not many people around. So I shout until before people would have come, he had already had his way on me. So the police arrested him and he was locked. He went to the hospital. They did all the checkup. So they say if in case of any other eventualities, they were going to call him back.
And all these things happened because you had nobody to support you. You were just trying to survive.
I was just trying to survive. Life was just
not very easy. Now the rape incidents, how does it affect you psychologically?
It affects me psychologically because whenever I think of it, I cry. I cry that if my father would not have died, this thing would have not happened to me. And if I had somebody that would have taken care of me, I would have not been using opportunity to lie to people so I can survive.
Now, Mr. Jack, truth be told, some men actually use these vulnerable girls because of their situation, because of their condition, and take them to places where they are not. Look at the situation with Nelly. She was vulnerable. She wanted to survive, and this man took advantage of her. Now you meet some of these ladies. How do you think they can overcome such situations? Some of them watching us were actually vulnerable. Is it possible for them to overcome such people around our community?
Well, firstly, I want to say there are so many girls with this situation because they are fighting to end, to make ends meet, to feed themselves, to clothe themselves, and all the like. And this is a result of them not having something to do. So that is why Bright Light decided that it's not all about giving these vulnerable girls food, giving them clothes, giving them, maybe padding them, or giving them money. It's about giving them a living, giving them a sort of livelihood, giving them a training, of which after this training period you can start up your life on your own. Because if these girls could, if Nelly was able to earn maybe 2,000 francs on a daily basis, she would not find herself in such a situation. So that is the best remedy. That's true. The best remedy we came up, Bright Light came up with, and that is all about our Girl Shall Rise program, trying to empower these ladies to the peak, so that they can avoid such situations. Because at some point it's not their making. It's not. Just because they have to survive as a girl child, you have to look good, you have to do your hair. Before you know it, you are into a man because you want to have all those things. Now, Nelly, you came in contact with Bright Lights Project after you've gone through a lot in life. You've gone through a lot of challenges, a lot of issues here and there. And one thing that struck my mind about Nelly, Mr. Jack, was that she's a very brilliant girl. Very. She does not fail an exam. No matter all the challenges that you went through, you struggled yourself to have your O levels, struggled to have your advanced level. Now, what was your strength? What was the secret to your strength? What was keeping you going?
What was keeping me going was my siblings, because my father used to say before he died that he wants to empower me, not because I should come and help him, but it is for my siblings, my junior brothers and sisters, because I'm the first, and at least they look up to me. And there's always one saying that when they first fail, there's likely for the others to fail. So that's why I have never wanted to fail, because I don't want to fail them. If I fail, it's like I am failing them. So that was what has been keeping me going, even through all the hell I went through. I have never give up. I am just like holding on to that thing that I should not feel, so they will not feel.
Because you feel like doing it, you keep your father wherever he's happy.
And they look up to me because now I'm like their father and mother. They don't have any person, so that alone have been my courage, something that has been keeping me going. Even though that is not easy, there are points in time that I wish, like, I just feel like where I'm in the middle of nowhere, that what will I do? I just give up. But when I sleep the next morning, I wake up and I still feel like continuing. So that was it. I became a crying doll. Even my teachers in school know I'm crying every day because my problems, they were above me. Like, seriously, I don't know if anybody that can go through half of what I have gone through. I cannot really say it all, but experience is the best teacher. I have gone through hell, I cannot lie. I have seen devil face to face. Even say
it's okay, it's well. Now, Mr. Jack, this program that is ongoing now, that you're actually sending your organization, the Bright Lights Project, is actually sending young girls to school. Now, looking at your motto, when I was going through it online, it says building broken communities. Now, how does this benefit young girls and women? Those are the people we know that are most vulnerable in the community. Women, girls, and children. How do they really benefit them?
Well, they say there's this saying that in Africa, if you train a woman, you have trained the whole nation. So
I like that slogan.
Well, this program, this Girl Shall Rise program, is mainly for women.
All right.
It's mainly for women and children.
Okay.
And it's mainly for the vulnerable persons. Like I said before, it is how to give training, both formal and informal form of education, to vulnerable children out there, vulnerable women out there, vulnerable girls out there.
All right.
Let me divert a little.
Yeah.
Nelly's case, when Nelly's case got to me, I first read it and I was like, this is serious.
This is serious.
And
okay, you mean Nelly? Yeah?
Yes,
right.
Nelly.
Okay.
And then when I got to meet her, and I first had a few minutes of talking with her, something struck me and was like, this lady has gone through a lot. It's beyond what I've read. So when my team member, our team which does the psychosocial support, took out time to then talk to Nelly, and the feedback they brought, though they didn't get normally with the protocol, they are not supposed to tell you the story. The feedback they brought, I was like,
right.
Okay, my instincts didn't fail me, because Nelly was really going through a lot back then. Okay. And these are the kind of situations we are looking for. These are the kind of people we are looking for. We are looking for people who are actually vulnerable, people who go through a lot, not girls who just want to play around. We are looking for people who go through a lot, and people who are serious with their life, people who want to go somewhere with their life. So the our Girl Shall Rise project is kickstarting this September, with us sending a few of our beneficiaries to OIC to learn vocational trade, and this is to empower these girls to become strong in future. And our aim of doing this is for these same girls, after this period, having a stand, to be able to train more girls like them.
All right. So what are your expectations for the girls that will benefit from your scholarship?
Our expectation is that these girls, after the training period, they leave there and start having a life. They too should pick up someone from the street, found in the same situation with them, and try taking them out of it. Okay. That is what Bright Light is all about. We are contributing our own quota to rebuilding our broken community within these crisis zones. We cannot say we will do it all, but we are contributing our own quota, and this is our own quota, starting with the Girl Shall Rise project, helping to empower ladies, and from there we shall move forward to other things.
Now, Nelly, you are, can I say you are blessed, or you're lucky to meet with such an organization? I don't know whether it has been your dream before that someday God will send you somebody to support you to have a skill or have a training or fulfill your late dad's dream, because your father's dream was that he wants to send you to school so that you could help your siblings. Now God brought Bright Lights to you at a platter of gold. First and foremost, how did you feel when you heard of this opportunity to send girls to OIC?
I felt like, I always ask God to keep to his promise, because he said that when I would take this one, I replace it with this one, and this one will be more powerful than the one I have taken. When I close this door, I will open this door. I felt like, God has finally remembered me. He has opened another door for me. So I should be happy. At least I should even fend for myself, so I can have a stand and take care of my siblings and other people who have faced this kind of situation that I have faced.
Wow.
So it was a really dream come true.
Okay. And
especially that is what I have been studying in school.
Wow.
So it's just like,
it's my career.
Yes, it's my career dream now. Okay. It's just perfect. What
are you going to study in OIC?
So I am going to study catering management on hotel and tourism.
Wow.
Exactly.
No, I know when she's talking, I see a girl of a great future. She's, no matter what she's gone through, I don't know whether it's a counseling from Bright Light, because she still have hope. Yeah, many girls who have gone through what she's gone through, they are, in fact, they know that life has ended. They don't have this. I don't know what I'm seeing. She still got hope. Yeah. Is that Bright Light? Does it have something to do with the psychosocial care? Because there are many other ladies who are just gone through a little, Many of them call me sometimes, Mom, I'm living with my uncle, he's molesting me, doing that. They are already oppressed, they are depressed. In fact, they are not really.
But there are times that I tried to take my life.
All right. You see, okay, the time that you tried taking your life because of the things that you went through.
There are times that I had to. There are 2 times I've attempted to take my life now because things were not just going. Things were not just going at all. I felt like at this point in time, I am tired. I've just give up. I had to drink eau de javel. I passed out. It was after 1 week that
I time to die.
that I recovered when I was already in the hospital.
Okay.
It was not easy. Like seriously, it's not easy. The other time I used a knife. I wanted to starve myself that day. I should just end it. What was the suffering for? I should just end it because one day I will still die. Why am I suffering that I will still die? I should just better die and go and meet my father. Like seriously. But
today you are still alive.
I'm still alive.
This is strong. Means that other young girls should have hope that if they can go through, you can go through what you've gone through and you're still strong, then there's still hope. Now, Mr. Jack, I want to say this program, it has to take 2 years. I guess the girls have to be in school for 2 years.
Yes, they have to be in school.
How do you intend to follow up to make sure they go to school?
Yes. Bright Light still, as well, we have put in place a follow-up team. This follow-up team will be going to their houses.
Okay.
And the reason why we'll be going to their houses here is to ensure that these girls are focused to study, and this team is going to ensure that they do well in school. Like they should be able to give their complaints, what's not going right, what's disturbing them, and all the things, the challenges they are facing. And we also make sure we get their caregivers engaged. The reason why we're getting their caregivers engaged here is to ensure that these caregivers also give them an extra push to go to school. Because if we say we are just putting the money there, they might not, some of them might not go. But these caregivers are there, their caregivers are also closely followed up to ensure they keep the girls in check, while the team also does the check in the school and at home.
Okay, I think we have a caller here. Hello, good evening to you. Oh, sorry. Okay. Wow. Okay, you follow them up, make sure that their caregivers follow them, make sure that they go to school, so that you don't spend your money on people who are not serious.
Yes, their caregivers have to follow.
Wow. I'm sorry, a lot of calls are coming, but I'm missing them. But this one says, good evening, woman of God. God is passing the lady through a school after studies and exam with God, and the world will celebrate her. Wow, that was an encouraging word from a viewer there. Of course, the world will celebrate Nelly in the name of Jesus. Thank you very much for your reactions. Keep send them coming. We still have some few minutes to go. Now, Nelly, what is your dream? What are your dreams for the future? Now you want to go to school. You're opportune to go to school to study what you love studying. What are your dreams for the future?
My dreams for the future is as big as the entire world. I have a very wild dream.
Okay.
Like they say, if dreams were just mere wishes, I would have been living in maximum luxury. But anyway, my dreams is that I should become a great woman. Wow. A great woman that I'm going to impact lives of others. Wow. A great woman that I will leave legacy. I will leave a great legacy that people will follow, inspire their lives in great ways, influence others, so they should not give hope that what they are going through has an end one day. Even though that the end is very far, but there is an end. Like my grandmom used to say, that hungry way get hope, no the key. Now hungry way no get hope, you die quick. Okay. So there was this hope that I kept somewhere that has been keeping me going. So finally God has opened that door for me, and now is my time to shine. So the sky will be my limit.
Wow. Amen. And amen to that. We are saying amen to that. That message that we had was coming from Mr. Ekole Basil Nanjeme. Thank you very much, sir, for reactions. Bright Light Project is putting smiles in the faces of many young girls, I must say, without any publicity, without any, I mean, what do you gain putting smiles in the lives of young girls like this?
Well,
what's your benefit?
all Bright Light benefits from all this is the girls carrying on the goodwill,
all right,
lifting another person up after their period of training, and when they are successful in life. And all Bright Light gains is thank you. Just say thank you. Just say thank you.
Just to see you grow to become somebody in the community.
That is what Bright Light Project is all about. To put smiles on faces of people whose faces are already sad, and to give hope, this additional hope that tomorrow you are going to be great. Just our name Bright, just give you a bright smile,
and make you smile all the way. Now we have about 6 minutes to go, but you wrote advanced level, you passed very well with all the things you're going through. So people who have the luxury, they have all the fine house, they are fine, their parents are there, but they failed. We are not saying they are dull. No, they are not dull. But now, what was your secret? If you must give an advice to somebody who is preparing for an exam, you were even going through a lot, but you passed very well. What was your secret to your success?
My secret to my success is that I want to make my father proud wherever he is.
No, while you were studying to write the advanced level, what was that secret that made you pass very well? Make it for the advanced level.
The secret was that I had my self-plan, my vision, that I must achieve this thing, and more to that, there are many people I know they want to see me fall, because most of my family, relatives,
there are many people who want to see you fall, so you take it as a challenge.
I take it as a great challenge. I told them that before I will die one time, they will die 20 times before me. So because of that challenge, I had to read very hard, put my extra effort, my extra time and commitment to see that those that want to laugh at me, I will laugh at them. Those that want to see my downfall will die, and they will never see my downfall. So it kept me going, and I had to pass 7 papers, all in good grades, all my papers, and my enemies were put to shame.
No, this is really great. Somebody who's gone through all these things, but she still had to push through. That's why your prayer to become that woman that will go to empower a lot of people, I think it's surely going to come to pass, because your story is enough to make somebody work very hard.
Yeah, my story is enough to make somebody. It's an additional push to somebody who is going through what I am going through. Just be determined. Just do it. At least sometimes do it for yourself, for your personal peace. Just do it to make yourself happy, to make yourself feel that no matter what, at least I am on top of my own world. That was what was keeping me going. I just have to do it for myself, and to make sure that I shame all my enemies, because they are want to see me fall, but they will never see me. I refuse to fall.
Now, Mr. Jack, we have some few minutes to go. Now, Nelly and the other girls that the Bright Light Project is looking forward to seeing them go through school. What do you envisage? What's your vision for their future after school? Is that after school you just say, okay, we have sent you through OIC 2 years, okay, go ahead and fend for yourself, help yourself get your job or business and all that?
Well, Bright Light, with the help of its partners, will do our best to ensure these girls have a stand after school. That's why during the period of OJT, that is on the job training, we'll ensure that these girls perform very well, so that wherever they find themselves, they just will be able to be settled there. So, and it brings us back to our robust follow-up system. Through this system, it's going to get them, to make them get comfortable after school. And we cannot, there is no way we can abandon these girls after school, because it will be like we haven't done anything.
Okay.
It's just like training them and then leaving them after training, because there are a lot of people who have gone through training, and after training they still go back to what they were doing because there was nothing after that. Yes.
Okay. Now we have some messages from Facebook. This one is from Miss Mo Harriet. She says, Nelly, you should keep pushing, be strong. Well said, Mr. Mafani. And she said, terrible. She was just listening to your story and she's kind of encouraging you. Now, from 2 more minutes to go, if you have a word for, let me start with the young vulnerable girls who are actually going through hell, because there are many of them, there are still some in the bushes still going through hell. If you have a word of encouragement or advice to young girls who are actually going through situations maybe worse than you or the less than you, but they are vulnerable, what would you advise them?
My advice to them, or people that are facing same thing that I am facing, my advice is that you have to be strong for yourself first, because yourself come first. When you're strong for yourself first, you'll be able to make it. You'll be able to fight for yourself to make it. So they should not lose hope. They should keep fighting. Keep fighting to see that they succeed in life. Everything does not end like that. When there is rain, comes sun, and when there is pain, comes joy. No matter how long it may take, but surely and slowly it must come to pass. So please just hold on and stay calm wherever you are, and don't do extra more than what you cannot do. Just keep within your reach. One day is one day, your own bright light will locate you.
Wow, amen. What a powerful word of inspiration and encouragement there. This one says, students who finish those rigorous programs have the credentials and training they need to get started right away in their chosen career path. Wow, I think that was still for Mr. Ikole Basil. Maybe going through the same question I asked you before.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah.
Like after that,
they start right away. We
after school.
Yes, after school, after the robust period of training and all the like, they go straight into doing what they have studied.
All right.
There's no period of saying they will go and visit their auntie.
What about those who don't have jobs? Means they'll somehow connect them to.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I said Bright Light and its partners will do their best to ensure that it doesn't end at the level of training. It ends at the level of placing them where they can put what they have practiced.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. We are almost coming to the end of the program. In fact, we are coming to the end now. Miss Nelly, you are about starting school, but you're still very strong. You're still hoping for the best. Can you just look at your camera? Tell us your few words. Maybe that's your camera there. Maybe I don't know. Okay, just tell us your few words before we leave. Camera.
Let's just say, when I was opportune to meet the Bright Light project, it was a sign of relief. At least I feel like my starting point has just begun. It's one step ahead to attending my dreams, to reach my vision, to reach what I have always wanted for myself. So I am praying that God should bless this Bright Light project, so that is going to give them the grace to continue to help other girls like me in the community, so the world is going to be one perfect world for all of us.
Wow. I said this lady is an ambassador. Great words. I'm touched. Thank you, darling, for that beautiful words. Look at the smile. She's trying to smile. Mr. Jack, your last words before we go?
My last word will be, as a vulnerable girl out there, continue telling your story. Continue speaking out. You don't know who and where you will meet. Your help is going to come out from.
Exactly.
Continue speaking out. Continue telling your story. And tomorrow, God will take you out of that situation. And never give up. Never give up.
Never give up. Continue telling your story. Tomorrow, God may take you out of that situation. Is the last words from Mr. Jack. And indeed, sincerely, we must say that let us speak out. And Nelly spoke out. Nelly shared her story. That's why today she can have this little scholarship to go back to school, at least to do something that can help her in future. But I must say that please, if you have listened to her story and you want to support her, she goes to school, because going to school does not only mean school fees, and maybe she needs other things, her upkeep and all that. If you want to reach out to her, you can use the numbers on screen. We are going to give you her contact so that you can reach out to her, support her your own way. Okay, this one is going to be your transport and all that. It's going to assist her. It's going to bless her. I think we have a caller. Hello, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, good evening. Yep. Yeah, thank you very much. Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Jessica. I'm from Limbe.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Please, I have a difficult notice. I know if you can help me.
Are you a girl or a male?
I'm a girl.
Okay. All right, you have a difficult to go to school. You don't know if we can help.
Yeah.
All right. I will get back to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, thank you very much. As I said, thank you all for calling. And as I said, if you feel like you want to also, calls are coming when I'm going. Hello, good evening to you. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from? Please, when you call, just lower the volume of your radio or TV set so you can listen, get us. All right, as I said, thank you so very much. We are calling it Kurt. We are cutting the curtain at this point in time. I said, if you want to reach out to Nelly, you want to support her, she goes to school, don't hesitate to call us. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm Evangelist.
All right, you are calling from where, sir? All right, okay. What's your reactions or any?
Yes, I think God is really doing something in the life of that, honestly.
Amen.
The man of God that started this program, I know God will highly bless it because not really easy.
It's an organization, Bright Lights Project. It's not a church. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That the person comes with a vision.
Okay.
For that.
All right.
And especially with you that give them the opportunity to live with you. I know God will bless you.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir.
Move on.
Okay.
God is passing out through his school.
All right.
And after that, believe me, the world will smile with that day.
Amen. Wow.
Well,
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of encouragement. Wow, Nelly, I think you're full with a lot of encouragement. Thank you very, very much. All right, we are up to go. I want to say, Bibi, thank you to my darling sister who was behind the camera, Madam Kindness. She made sure we look beautiful this evening. Thank you very much. I also want to say big thank you to the Director of Programs, Mr. Yannick Funky, and Mr. Enno Humphrey, who, of course, if we say that opportunity, we should applaud the management of HiTV for this opportunity that you could. I mean, now we know about Nelly, and Nelly knows about Bright Lights. And I want to say big thank you to Mr. Jack, all the way from the Bright Light Project. Thank you so much. Just like what Evangelist said, that God will bless the organization for what you're doing. And thank you for coming. Nelly, thank you very much, darling. Thank you for coming. Hope to have you again some other time. Viewers, it's on this note that I want to say ciao. If you miss out this episode of Girls Talk, you can catch up tomorrow, Monday, 3 p.m. and on Thursday, 2 p.m. you get this same episode of Girls Talk. My name is Favor, and please catch you again next week, Saturday, for another fresh episode of Girls Talk. Until then, shalom.